Now finally coming to a Bohr's atomic model, let's understand some main postulates given by a Bohr. The first postulate is, I'll just write systematically. The first postulate is atom consists of a dense positively charged nucleus. Atoms consist of dense positively charged nucleus and electrons are revolving around the nucleus, and the electron revolves around the nucleus in circular orbit. Okay, this is the first postulate, and what we can say over here is the force of attraction. Force of attraction is balanced by centrifugal force. Okay, since the electron is revolving in circular orbit, this is the first postulate. Second is angular momentum is quantized. Angular momentum of an electron is quantized, and it is given by the equation angular momentum mvr, velocity of the electron, mass m is the mass of the electron, r is the radius of the electron, is equal to nh by 2 pi. Means electron will always revolve in those orbits or in those radius whose angular momentum is integral multiple of h by 2 pi. Okay, this is the second postulate which was given by him. This orbits here, like electron will revolve in a certain orbit who is having angular momentum equal to nh by 2 pi. Means angular momentum, possible values of the angular momentum, or angular momentum is an integral multiple of h pi. So angular momentum can have values, from like h by 2 pi, then 2h by 2 pi, or 3h by 2 pi, 4h by 2 pi, 5h by 2 pi. It will have the angular momentum of this kind. It is always integral multiple of h by 2 pi. And so that angular momentum. So here there is a concept of the orbit. Okay, orbit also called as a energy level. This is also called as a stationary state. This is also called as a stationary state. So wherever the electron is revolving. Then third, so each circular orbit is associated with specific energy. Okay, that is, let's say E1 is the energy of the first orbit, then E2 is the energy of the second orbit, E3 is the energy of the third orbit, E4 is the energy of the fourth orbit, and so on, right? So as we go away from the nucleus, energy of the orbit increases. So each orbit is associated definite amount of them. Then next is energy is absorbed. Fourth is energy is absorbed or emitted only when energy is absorbed. I'll just write this way: energy is absorbed when electron jumps from lower orbit to higher orbit. And second, energy is emitted, and energy is emitted when electron jump or goes, we can say, goes from lower orbit to higher orbit, and when electron jumps from higher orbit to lower orbit. Okay, this is what the main postulates of the Bohr's model. Note, what is the important note, that Bohr's model of atom was a atom for the single electron species. This atom was for a single electron species. Single electron species, like hydrogen, helium plus, lithium 2 plus, beryllium 3 plus. It is, this Bohr's model was explained for a single, it was successfully explained for a single electron species. For multi-electron species, it was a failure. Now, significance of the Bohr's model. Significance of a Bohr's model. Bohr's model is that first is radius of nth orbit, radius of nth orbit. N is a principal quantum number or a orbit number, 1, 2, 3, 4, that way. So it is given as Rn is equal to 52.9 n square by z picometer, right? So if you want to say for a hydrogen atom, let's discuss this further. For hydrogen atom, radius of the first orbit will be 52.9 only, because n is 1 and z is also 1. Radius of the second orbit will be 52.9 into 4, because n is 2, 2 square is 4, and z is 1 for the hydrogen. Radius of the third orbit will be 52.9 into 9. Radius of the fourth orbit will be is equal to 52.9 into 16. Radius of the fifth orbit is 52.9 into 25, right? So on. So what, this is for the hydrogen atom. So radius of the sixth orbit is 52.9 into 36. So this is also known as a A0. A0 is also called as a Bohr's radius. A0 is also called as a Bohr's radius. Bohr's radius means what? Radius of the first orbit of the hydrogen atom, right? This is equal to A0. So means this could be written as A0 times 4. This is A0 times 9. A0 times 16. This is A0 times 25 or 25 A0, and this is A0 times 36. Means if you want to really see the spacing of the orbits in the in the atom, in an atom is this way. This is the nucleus. This may be a first orbit, n is equal to 1. This may be a next spacing which is more than that. Actually it should be still more. Then this may be a third spacing which is still bigger than that, that is n is equal to 3. This will be a fourth spacing, n is equal to 4. This gap is much more than this. So gap keeps on increasing. Means if I want to show like next n is equal to something, n is equal to 5. So this is a kind of spacing. So this is from here to here it is A0. From here to here it is 4 times A0. This distance is 4 A0. This distance is 9 A0. 9 A0. This distance is 16 A0. Right, and then it will be a 25 times A0. So this is also called as a K shell. This is also called as L shell, M shell, N shell. Hope it's coming into the frame. Yeah, this is called as M shell. This is called as N shell. Right. So this is also called as a ground state. Remember, this is called as ground state. This is called as first excited state. Remember, this first excited state means n is equal to 2. This is second excited state. This is third excited state, and fourth excited state means n is equal to 5. So it is that way. So this is how the spacing and the spacing in the orbits is given. So next is energy, velocity of the electron in the nth orbit. Okay. So next significance is a velocity of electron in nth orbit. So velocity of the electron in nth orbit is 2.18 into 10 raised to 6 z by n meter per second. This is the velocity. Means what we can say is that it is inversely proportional to the n. Means as we go away from the nucleus, the velocity of the electron will be less. Like if we consider a velocity of the electron in the first orbit and the velocity of the electron in the fourth orbit, the velocity of the electron in the fourth orbit will be less compared to that of the velocity in the first orbit. So this is the second thing, that is z by n. Then third is energy of electron in nth orbit. Actually there is a great detailed explanation for the energy of the electron in nth orbit, but as of now I'll just give you the formula. In next video maybe I'll discuss a detailed explanation of the energy of the radiation. The energy of electron in nth orbit, is given to be En is equal to minus 13.6 n square z square by n into z square by n electron volt. This is in electron volt. Okay, z square by n square, sorry, yes, minus 13.6 z square by n square electron volt. So we know that electron volt is always equal to 1 electron volt is 1.6. Remember this, 1 electron volt is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 joule. So if I want to write this into joules, then it is 13.6 into 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 z square n square electron volt. So the point over here in joule, it is coming to something 1.6. This is minus 2.18 into 10 raised to minus 18 z square n square joules. Like this is in joules. This formula is in joules, and other formula, this formula is in electron volt, energy of the electron in a electron volt, right? So in nth orbit in electron volt. So let's stick to this formula, one of the formula, and let's decide what happens to the energy of the electron as we go away from the nucleus. So for a hydrogen atom, I'll write again, for a hydrogen atom, what is like E1? Let's talk about E1. Like we have this formula, energy 1 will be is equal to just minus 13.6, because 1 n square is 1 square and this is 1 square. So this is equal to minus 13.6 electron volt E1. Now what would be E2? E2 will be minus 13.6 divided by, because Z is anyway 1 for the hydrogen, it will be divided by 4 electron volt. E3 will be is equal to what? Minus 13.6 divided by 9 electron volt. E4 will be what? Minus 13.6 divided by 16 electron volt. E5 is what? Minus 13.6 divided by how much? 25 electron volt. So if we see that as we go away from the nucleus, energy of the electron keeps on increasing. Energy of the electron keeps on increasing. Like since this is a negative number, see, remember this is a negative number, and this is what? This is denominator is increasing. Whenever negative number is there and denominator is bigger, what happens is that value keeps on increasing. You can find these values and then you can compare, and what you can say is that E1 is having the lowest energy. Let's say this is the energy level of the E1. This will be a E2, right? This is energy of the E3. This is energy of E4, then E5, then E6. Okay, so this is energy, means this here n is equal to 1, here n is equal to 2, here n is equal to 3, here n is equal to 4. So as we go away from the nucleus, what happens? The energy increases. Energy of the electron in that orbit increases, and what happens in the difference? A difference between the energy is decreasing. Like this is exactly opposite to the radius. Radius distance keeps on increasing and the energy between the orbits keeps on decreasing. Energy difference between the orbits keeps on decreasing.